You have tuned into Beat Break Radio with Sean Garvey and DJ Rollum.
Mother of 17-year-old Randisha Love found her shot to death inside their home Tuesday evening. And Channel 2's Tom Regan live in South Fulton. Tom, her mother told you that they're asking anyone with information, please call police.
This has been an absolutely agonizing day for the parents of Randisha Love. They've been busy making arrangements for her funeral, and just last week they're making plans for her prom. And in the front yard, a small memorial continues to grow.
Randisha Love sang in the church choir, tutored math to struggling students, adored her brothers and parents. Her mom told me she and one son came home from his basketball game Tuesday evening and discovered the front door unlocked, and then Randisha on the floor.
Covered in blood, and I knew at that point my baby was gone.
The parents can't fathom why someone would want to kill their daughter, a bright, ambitious teenager who always looked out for her brothers.
She wanted to go to the Air Force. That was her dream. She wanted to go to try to help her three brothers go to college.
Her mom told me Randisha was excited about graduating from high school and her upcoming prom. She'd even picked out her prom dress.
I'm not going to have that to see my baby in her prom dress. That's just not, they took that from me.
Now we have to try to plan a funeral. We were planning a graduation. We were planning a prom. Now we go from planning happy things to planning a sad event.
Please call Crime Stopper. Just to have, we need some closure just as parents.
They ripped my heart out. That was my only daughter. And they took her. They had no right to do that.
Both the pastor and the parents are urging the shooter to quit running and to surrender to police. Live in South Fulton County, College Park, Tom Regan, Channel 2, Action News.
Okay, of course. Thank you, D. Here. This is Sean Garvey speaking to you all. You are tuned into a very important special edition of the D. Hill Radio Show on Love 860 AM and Love860.com. You can also download the TuneIn app to your smartphone and mobile device and hear the show live on your phone. And the telephone number, we're going to give you all the telephone number to call in just a moment. But to piggyback on what D. Hill said, the name of the young lady is Randisha Love. She was a 17-year-old young girl who was getting ready to head over to the Air Force and graduate from Westlake High School. And on January 12th of this year, 2016, Randisha Love was in her home in College Park, Georgia. And around late afternoon, some people came over to the house, or a person came to the house, and unfortunately took the life of the 17-year-old girl. And since then, the mother and the people in the community, friends, family, and neighbors have been seeking justice for the slain 17-year-old victim, Randisha Love. We've seen it all over social media, and of course, we just momentarily just played a clip courtesy of Channel 2 News, WSB, ABC affiliate here in Atlanta. And the story has went nationwide, not just here in Atlanta, but nationwide. And we are asking the community right now to help us give some closure to the family and to the friends of Randisha Love. So sitting with us here on the D Hill Radio Show, and it's kind of hard for me to speak because this hits so close to home. And sitting with us here on the D Hill Radio Show is the mother of the 17-year-old girl. Once again, our thoughts and our condolences go out to you, ma'am, and thank you so much for being on this evening's edition of the D Hill Radio Show. And I know that it's a very trying time that you are going through right now. Losing someone that is close to you and someone that you love dearly every single day. You know, how are you taking all this in right now?
I'm not.
Take your time.
Take your time.
I'm not. It hurts so bad, and that was my only girl, and my heart is just ripped out. And you know, as I said today, it's like as the day go by, it's harder to even breathe because you know it's just one more day without my child. And she was such a bright young lady. She didn't have she didn't get into any type of trouble. She was looking forward to going to the prom. This would have been her first prom. This was her junior year, and she was looking forward to graduation. And you know, she was my only girl, and I'm devastated right now.
I want you to take a moment. We also are joined by the family's pastor as well. Can you kindly step to the mic real quick and let the community, let everyone know who do we have the honor of speaking with this evening?
Pastor Darrell Lamar Edwards of the Greater New Hope Baptist Church.
Okay. All right. Now, we're going to take this one by one. Ms. Hamm, talk to us about Randisha. Talk to us about her character, the type of person that she was.
Randisha was, she loved school. She loved to learn. She was just a good person. She's always smiling. All the kids loved her. She sung in the choir at church. She loved to sing. She was on the dance praise team at church. She was on the dance team at the school. Randisha was just full of life. She loved her brothers. That was one of her reasons and wanted to go to the Air Force to help them go to college. And she loved her mom, and she never complained about anything. And she was just a bright young lady. She was a 3.9 GPA student, honor student. She's been in honor classes since, she was in the first grade. Right. And I've never had any type of trouble with her. And she was a loving person. And I could never imagine that the conversation that I had with her would be my last conversation with her. And her and I, was laughing on the phone, and it was just, I could have never imagined that would be my last time, but I'm happy that I did hear her laugh. She sounded so happy, but I don't know.
It says that she had just transferred to Westlake High School, so this school in this neighborhood was very new to her.
Very new. She had been going Westlake only since maybe September, because she didn't start when school originally started back, so she had started maybe late August or September. So we didn't know anybody in the neighborhood. She didn't know anybody in the school. We've only been there 3 months or more time since prior to this happening. Okay. So,
if you don't mind, can you tell us exactly what happened that day that this took place? I know she got up to get dressed. She went to school and she came back and called you like every day. This happened on a Tuesday?
It happened on a Tuesday.
Okay.
I now hate Tuesdays. It's hard for me to get through Tuesdays.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
I usually leave to go to work before her. She texts me that she's on the bus. So she did text me to tell me that she was on the bus. And I text her back, I love you, just out every day. Normal things. And that's it. Sometimes we'll text throughout the day. I can't remember if we text throughout the day that day, but she usually calls me between 4 and 4:15 to let me know she's made it home off the bus, because I work my hours. I didn't get off until late.
Okay.
She called me to let me know that she was home, and I said okay, and usually she'll sometimes call me, throughout the day, but she didn't. So it wasn't abnormal for her not to call me, before I got off. But I went to pick up my son. When I got off work, I went to pick up my son from his basketball game. He and I stopped and get something to eat, and I know when I was calling her, she wasn't answering the phone, but that still wasn't abnormal, because she usually is listening to her radio or something on her phone. And when we got home, and my son walked in the house, and there she was.
Okay. All right. And we're also joined by DJ Roland right here on the D Hill Radio Show. I know that there are a few questions that you want to ask.
Yes, it's DJ Roland. My biggest question is, of the current case going on right now, is there any leads of what the police have issued out or gave to you, as in some kind of leads to see what perpetrators have done this?
And that's why we're calling on the community and people, the school, so somebody can say something, because just to know that they're still out there. We don't know. I don't know of her having any type of enemies or anything. So there's nothing, and that's why we're doing all we can with social media and with this, and we're just trying to get the word out, because I know somebody knows something, and it may be something they think is small, but it may be something that will help bring this person to justice, because, you know, you don't know who it is. I don't know, and that's why we're calling now, because I can't imagine. I don't know. You know, but there's nothing that, you know, we know of that the police have any type of leads or anything. So that's why we are asking people, you know, she didn't deserve this. She just didn't deserve it. So that's why we're asking people to please, you know, call Crime Stoppers, because they have nothing.
So it wasn't like it was forced entries. Do you think maybe it was somebody that she?
I really
knew?
can't even remember.
Wow.
I don't remember how it looked. My mind has
I can understand.
Went blank. So I just know that, you know, she wouldn't open the door for anybody, you know, because we were new to the neighborhood. But I don't remember how anything looked, because, you know, my mind just blank.
Okay. Do we have a number for the Crime Stopper? If anybody have any information leading to this case, and the number is 404-577-TIPS. That's 404-577-8477.
And you definitely, if you want to give a call, give your condolences messages, definitely call in to Love 860 at 404-355-8699. Since you were saying that there was possibly no forced entry, I know they had to do this. I don't know this proper procedure. There had to be some witnesses to hear something, and no one in your area has said absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
I just can't believe this. I mean, you got to hear something. You have to hear something just to help give some closure of what has happened on this horrific day. And I know someone's going to come out here and say something. I don't know who, but it's going to be something. And I pray to God that I know that somebody's going to come and say something soon and not let this keep dwelling on.
I have a question for the pastor. If you can pass the mic over to him. What was Randisha like to you?
Vibrant life, sunshine, smile, greater than a parishioner, because she was my family. Someone who brought laughter into a room, joy. That's what makes this such a horrific situation. You took a piece of joy out of the world that belonged here. As I told the reporters, that in my common thought, she was the epitome of a teenager.
Yes.
Still had pictures of Chris Rock over her room. Chris Brown, over her room. Also still had loved to play with her, not only her brothers, but her cousins.
Okay.
She was just joy. The epitome of a teenager, full of respect, full of love. You never saw her being disrespectful or giving a mean gesture.
Okay.
She was that teenager that if you poster child it would have been her.
Okay.
And that's, again, what makes this such a hard road to travel, because there are no footprints that lead to this.
Okay.
It's like on that day, our family changed. Someone did something that impacted us from top to bottom. And if they didn't hear anything in the neighborhood ought to listen now.
Yes, definitely.
Because there's a murderer in your community.
Wow, that's so sad. And if you have any information regarding to the incident that took place on January the 12th, 2016, the number is this is the Stoppers number, 404-355. 404, I'm sorry, that's the radio station number, 404-577-TIPS. That's 404-577-8477. And even if you have little information, that's big information. That's a lot of information. So, if you've seen anything or heard anything, please make sure you call the tipster hotline. So, question that I asked the pastor before we went on music break, where do you all go from here?
From here, we exhaust all avenues.
Okay.
We try our best to console Katara as well as the boys.
Okay.
We do our best as a family to keep her in prayer as well as we keep ourselves. We continue to do such things as we did recently. We did a balloon release. We'll do that constantly and consistently because we want the communities to know as well as the world to know that we won't sleep, we won't rest.
Okay.
Because we want to keep it out until we find closure. We've been denied some access to certain things.
Okay.
I won't say what they are, but we're still trying to do our best as a family so that this doesn't become dormant.
Okay.
It doesn't lie down. And that person, whoever did this, they'll know that we're going to continue to support Katara. We're going to continue to canvass the community. We're going to continue to canvass the area.
Okay.
Until somebody decides they've seen us enough and they want to talk, or that they just can't take it anymore, and whatever it takes, we're going to do it.
Yes.
Because from here we have to move forward, but we got to move at a snail's pace.
Okay.
We're not rushing anything.
Okay.
We're going to take our time because each day is a process.
Yes, it is a healing process also.
Yeah, we have days when we're pretty good. Then we have moments when in that day we break down. And then we have the next day may be a better day. We don't know yet. But we take nothing for granted. So from here, we just try to keep the banner alive, make sure they know we're still searching.
Okay.
And that if there's any other families that want to come and galvanize with us,
okay,
we're here because we don't want this to, as it happened to our family, we don't want this to happen to another family nowhere because no mother should have to live this nightmare.
So true. So how are her brothers holding up?
Well, they're pretty on and off.
Yeah.
As we all are. When we see them, we laugh with them. We try to keep them joyous, but that's their sister. That was their friend. That was their playmate from the time they came into the world. That's what they knew. This was when you look at Katara, understand, we all need to understand this was a tight-knit family.
Yeah. Okay.
That when you saw Katara, you saw Randisha. You saw Randarius. You saw Randy. You saw the baby brother. You saw them all.
Okay.
They traveled together constantly. And when we came together as a family, we're all looking at the kids with this solemn look of look at our kids, look at the grandkids, look at our cousins. They're enjoying themselves. And now there's a missing piece of the puzzle that when the girls dance, as they often do, they get together and they do a little dance right in the middle of the living room, wherever we are, in Florida, wherever we are.
Okay.
But now when we have that picture, somebody's going to be missing. So this joyous moment is going to be sorrowful now.
Yeah, I want to say this, D, and I want to repeat the telephone number once again for those that are listening to us, 404-355-8699 or 1-866-923-2860. You can call in and share a testimony. Maybe the same similar experience happened to you or someone that you know. You can also call in and give your condolences and your prayers and your thoughts to the family of Randisha Hamm or Randisha Love. And I want to say this, D, violence and crime is rapidly hitting our community every single day, especially in Atlanta. A few days ago, there was a young man in Decatur, in DeKalb County actually, same age as Randisha, shot and killed. And then this morning, most of us heard about the breaking news that took place not far from the radio station where Atlanta well-known rapper Bankroll Fresh, right? Bankroll Fresh was shot and killed, and it's very tragic to hear about a case dealing with young people, especially young African American people, male or female, getting shot and killed in the streets every day. We yell Black Lives Matter every single time. And whether it's a young person that gets shot and killed by a police officer or someone within their peer group or the same age as them, this nonsense needs to stop. We get caught up, we get caught up in materialism. We get caught up in partying and going to the clubs and stuff like that. And you have to ask yourself, how many times am I going to chant Black Lives Matter when every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, or every hour, someone that's the same age as us, someone who's the same age as Randisha is getting shot and killed out here in these streets? So I feel like as a community, whether it's people that have some sort of political influence or someone that has some type of celebrity status to them or whatever, we have to do a lot more than just talking. And I keep saying the same thing that Georgia State Senator Vincent Ford has been saying. The time for talking is over. We have to get back into our communities. We have to get back into our neighborhoods and do something about the rapid violence that's happening in our communities, whether it's in Atlanta, whether it's in Chicago, Baltimore, any other state, any other area that young people are getting killed and shot is just ridiculous. I remember, and I can keep going on and on. I'm gonna definitely let everyone speak. I just get very emotional when I hear these type of situations, because I remember a few years ago when I was with the organization Men of Intelligence Association, I spoke to one young lady who has a son, and she said that my son is an endangered species because he's a black male, and she doesn't know if he's going to make it to be at least 16 years of age, because a lot of young people now are getting shot and killed before they turn 25. And that doesn't make any sense to me, So I just wanted to express that and just make this into a call of action, a call for action. Like Dee and everyone else, even the mother, if you know any information, please, share it to the authorities. Go to the authorities with some form of information. We have to get out of that mindset of the stop snitching mindset. If you see something, say something. Simple as that.
We have some other family members here in support of the mother. Do you all have anything you all would like to add? No.
I've been talking to the detective. I've been talking to the...
You could step up to the microphone.
My name is Vicky. I'm Katara's aunt. I'm Randisha's great aunt. I've called the school, and they say they can't help us, but we want to pass out flyers or do anything. They say they can't help us. I got the address to the Fulton County School Board. We'll be writing them to see if they can help us. Facebook, Instagram, we've been doing it. Can't sleep at night. You get up and get on Facebook, or you get up and you pray for Katara. It's just hard, And I say we're a family who've been through a lot of tragedy, but this one hits us below the belt because we shouldn't be here and we shouldn't be going through this. But we are, and we're going to fight to the end, Katara. If you know something, please say something. Don't let us keep suffering. Don't let Katara keep hurting. Don't let the boys keep hurting every day for their sister. And somebody out there, you know something. I'm begging you to please say something so my niece's heart, it won't take it away. But justice will be served for Randisha Love. It will be served. We out there, we working.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And Forrester School is not helping. That's a whole nother story. I don't really want to say what I what I really want to say about that. But I could definitely, on my part, I would love to reach out to one or two other radio stations and, get this out. And maybe you all can go on there for interviews as well, putting the story out there. Because, there are a whole nother different listeners than what we have. So I would love to, play my part in that, helping out a little bit as well.
Right.
If I may, before my aunt comes, I understand totally and don't want to make this a political rant. But as I told someone on the station earlier today, yes, Black Lives Matter, but I think there needs to be a different chant that needs to go forward. That they need to give us back our children.
Yes.
Take them out of the legal system hand and allow parents to raise their children again. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to make a difference in the community. But if a parent is being allowed to raise their child without the fear of going to jail or being arrested for just trying to chastise. Because I think if I fix him now, you don't have to deal with him later.
Thank you.
And so I think something needs to be legislated downtown in Washington that parents come together and say, please give us back our children.
Yes, we need to. Because these days, even I know a lot of people watch some of the videos on Facebook. These kids that's out there today, they're just out of control. It's like no discipline or whatsoever, and they're just doing whatever they want to do. I mean, showing guns and everything. It's like they're not held responsible like we were when we was growing up.
Amen.
Yeah. We have another family member that wants to say something on the mic, and I really appreciate you, Katara, for just bringing in a huge moral support to the radio station this evening. So you see that you have a lot of people that's really having your back on this, and that will help you do everything and anything that you can to help bring justice for Randisha. So let's go ahead and have her talk into the mic.
Okay. I just want to thank the radio station for letting us be able to vent. And I am Randisha's grandmother. And I just want to say that, like everyone else has already said, that if you know something, say something. And as they already said about, we always chatting about Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives does matter. And I want to say that even if someone is listening who knows something or did something and who did this, you can even tell them their life even matters. Even you did this crime, your life still matter. You're still here, you still have a chance. But Randisha doesn't. So you have a chance to come and surrender or do whatever. So you can take that chance. And this is to anybody out there who's listening. And if you know that person who has done this, then say something, please. Please, please. It won't bring Randisha back, but it will help us to live on and let her live in us. Because long as we don't live, we can't let her live in us if y'all don't let us live. Thank you.
And also, they can... you can remain anonymous if you call the Crime Stoppers. I know that's what a lot of people, worries if people will know who told. But you can remain. You don't have to even tell. You don't have to contact my family per se. You just contact Crime Stoppers, and you can remain anonymous. And and there's a reward out.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much the reward is.
Okay.
But there is a reward out. But, the main thing is you can remain anonymous, and I would, to do my best to make sure you remain anonymous. I don't even want to know who telling. I just want the word to get to where it needs to get so that this person could not be walking the streets, just every day, because I don't feel comfortable. I don't. Right now, even with my boys and even with my family, I don't want to let my boys out of my sight because
I can imagine.
I don't know what's going to happen the next second. I can't go back to work. I can't, my son who was with me at the time, he can barely go to school. Even when he go to school, I had to check him out because he's not able to concentrate. So, I mean, you really, you not only took Randisha's life, you took the life of her entire family. Randisha had a lot of friends we was just a close knit family. Her dad's side, her mom's side, we're all one, and we're just a close knit family. So you did not only take her life, you took the life of her family. You took my life is just gone now. I tell people 70% of me is gone. I only have 30% to try to give 10 to each of my boys that I have left. That's it. I no longer. My heart no longer beats. My heart just is. It's just pain. It's like it's not a heartbeat. It's just pain, and it hurts. I don't sleep. I don't eat. But I know I would get a little bit of something back if this person is off the street, because it bothers me to know, that. My daughter is 6 feet under, but they're able to still just do their everyday life, So I just, just please, if you know something, just please. It's just a mother's cry, a mother's plea. I could have never imagined myself in this position, but I'm here now, and the only thing I could do is just, try to move forward and try to help, other parents who are going through this stuff. You just y'all can't just let this person keep walking, because you just never know who could be next. Yeah,
that's true. And that's the scary thing about this. You don't know how many people he have done this to, or how many people he's going to, or they going to do this to next. And that's the scariest thing about this. I asked a question to the mother. Is there some type of counseling been offered to you? And especially for the son that went in and found his sister like that. I know that probably hit him pretty hard.
It is. Okay. But we've been, offered counseling. Okay. I know that we could go, but right now I'm at a stage to where I know counseling, I'm not ready to face it. Okay. And I know in counseling I have to admit it. You know how when they say you have a problem, admitting it is the first step. And I'm not ready to admit it and face the fact that my daughter's gone. So I just figured when I'm ready to, face that fact and admit it, then I'll go. But we have been offered it, and I know that, we can, go places to get it. But I'm not ready to just admit that fact yet. Okay. And my son, he walked in the house before I did. I got in there right after him. I don't know if he saw everything I saw, but I'm too heartbroken to ask him exactly what did you, So I know, I have my family right now, but we've been, I guess to answer your question, yes, we've been offered counseling. I'm just not mentally ready to go.
I can understand.
So,
I can understand whenever you lose a child. I know I lost both of my parents, and I can only imagine, losing a child is 10 times worse.
And that's what I tell people. It's one thing to lose a child, but to lose a child in the manner that I did it's like 10 times harder. And I mean, she was the only child I ever lost, but I just to know it's a murder is just, it makes me more angry than anything that somebody, because you spend your time trying to make sure your kids is safe and they are, doing the right thing and everything. And that's what I tried to do. And for someone to feel the need to come into my home, to do that to my daughter, then that person just really don't care. Yeah. Because they don't know who could have been at home, So for them to feel the need to come into my home, to do that to her, it just is, our just community and kids, it's just scary now.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
It's just, I don't know.
So you're the pastor. They attend your church?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so are you not trying to be the little devil here, but you teaching some type of...
No, no, ma'am.
Bang.
I'm keeping them constantly in prayer.
Okay, I mean your other members
I'm teaching them how to pray too.
Okay,
because that is the key to all of our deliverance.
Okay,
And even with her younger son that walked in, I talk every time I see him.
Okay.
I pull him to the side and just check on him to make sure he's in a good place. Even when we had the funeral, I did the same thing. I want to make sure he's in a good place, and I've told him when he needs to talk to me, I'm waiting on him. Because I think we can help him through this process. And same thing with Katara. So we're just making sure as a family that we just gird each other up. The church itself, the youth, we've had to answer questions through our youth department, and we're teaching them to be safe. And we're teaching their parents that if your daughter or your son has a cell phone, take it and check it periodically. It's not that always the child is bad. Sometimes that's bad influence on those phones. So check them every now and then just to make sure that what's going on the phone is innocent. And it keeps the child in alert that I don't know when my mama going to take my phone, so I better just make sure it's clean.
Yeah, at all times.
At all times. Just be safe. So outside of that, it is, I want to go back to something Katara said, and I think that is one of the hardest things that we're dealing with. Tragedy is tragedy, death is death. Car accident, terminal illness. Even I've watched people try to prepare for it, and it's still the same thing. But when someone comes and takes something from you, and they don't know the value of what they've taken, it's a whole different story. Because this person or persons they took from us, they took something that was going to add to our family. Because she was a young lady. And so no doubt we was teaching her good virtues. So I pray she would have got married. She would have had some children, which would have brought more kids into our family, connected our family with another family. You robbed us of that. Of that opportunity to know what her future could have been. We know that it was bright already. But you dimmed it with your decision. And when she got home is supposed to be safe. Once you cross that threshold and lock the door, you're supposed to be safe, unless someone decides to interfere with your safety. And that's what happened on that day. Someone decided to impact our lives in the most detrimental way. And so now we're trying our best to recover, but the road is long.
It is. It is going to be.
And it's hard. And right now it's dimly lit. Why? Because we don't know. It's hard to walk and don't know. That's a bad place to be in, don't know. If you know, it kind of helps you get resolved. But when you have to wake up and you don't know, and when you lay down at night and you don't know, it makes tomorrow hard to deal with. And that's where we are right now. We don't know.
I want to say this, too. We only got a few minutes left right here on the D Hill Radio Show. You still can call in at 404-355-8699 and send your wishes and your prayers to the family of Randisha. When I look at a picture of Randisha, I see my cousin. I see nieces. I see what could be my sister. And so, when you look at a picture like Randisha, so much hope, so much light in her, that should make or encourage anybody or everybody to take a second look and realize how precious life is. Kind of going back to what I stated before about, we get caught up in everything, materialism and the celebrity status and all that other stuff. But when you look at a picture like Randisha, this is the generation. A lot of us that are older, I'm in my 30s, a lot of us, when in the next few years or so, we're not going to be able to be on this earth much longer. And we need that new generation to still be alive to help lead this country, to help lead this earth. We're talking about young people that are aspiring actors, actresses, lawyers, doctors, politicians, president of the United States, or mayors, governors, any profession. And so for a young person's life to be taken away in senseless act of violence, you're taking away something that she could have helped change someone else's life or fought for her country. We're talking about Air Force bound, you know. So I just wanted to say that for those that are listening to us, just take a moment to go look at her picture. And I'm gonna call you Mother Hamm. I don't, not a disrespect, but I'm gonna call you Mother Hamm because I can see that you were very close, that you have such a bond with your daughter, and you currently have a Facebook page where you are raising awareness about her death and you encouraging people. We're going to take a call, but let's take a call, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and give the Facebook page address for people to go in online and check that out. Caller?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I just wanted to say something to my cousin Katara.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, just wanted to let you know we're here for you, cousin, and we're going to keep praying and hoping that the person that's responsible for this is be brought to justice. But just wanted to tell you to keep your head up, and we're here for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, I love you.
Love you more.
Thanks, caller, for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay, Mother Hamm, if you can, please go ahead and give our listeners and our audience the Facebook address or the Facebook page, or anybody that can go online and check it out.
Yes, the Facebook page is Justice for Randisha, and the same for Instagram. Justice, JUSTICEFOR, Randisha, RANDISHA.
Okay. And once again, we want to share the telephone number to those that are listening to us. Once again, folks, I don't want to stress this enough. Any information that can help the authorities lead to an arrest for the murder of Randisha Love, please call the telephone number. It's 404-577-TIPS. I'm going to repeat it one more time. It's 404-577-8477, and you can remain anonymous. You don't have to give out your name. You can remain anonymous. We just need some sort of closure for the family of Randisha Love. D?
All right, so I think that's probably the end, so we got to round things up. Man, that hour go by so fast. I just want to just thank everybody for tuning in to the D Hill Radio Show here on Love 860 AM WAEC, where we come to you live every Saturday night from 7 to 8. And please make sure that you call the tip line if you have any information at all. No information is small information, so make sure that you call in and help this family out. Just put in your mind that this could happen to you and your family.
And I want to say this, D, before we wrap it up. I want to, on behalf of D Hill, myself, DJ Roland D Hill, we really appreciate you for coming in the studio and sharing your story. So there will be justice for Randisha. There will be justice.
Definitely.
Thank you for having me.
It's the Beat Break Radio Show.
Twisted, wince, I flinch. Body consumed, mind is doomed. Cause why? Why do you ask? My feelings, they change so fast. It makes no sense. I wince, I flinch. Gotta get away, gotta escape this thing. Wanna give up, no glory, no fame. Get rid of my shame, reduce my pain, massage my brain. I don't wanna play this life game. I stop. Just stop. I need to think clear my mind, let it go blank. I try to recall why this was chosen all. Damn, I was twisted. That was an excerpt of a poem I wrote years ago. Yes, it's me, Sharia Thomas, back again, coaching you into wellness, mind, body, and emotions. You see, I know what it feels like to feel grief, to feel pain, to once be a victim of domestic violence, to have lost 2 family friends to gun violence. The emotions they can be so overwhelming, from the hurt to the fear, the violence happening again, to feeling enraged with anger, to just questioning why. Why did this happen? How could this happen? To total blame of not being able to be protected from such an atrocious act. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stated, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Some people may think, oh, there's nothing I can do. Or, I didn't know him or her. What if that was your child, your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, your friend? Does it have to hit home to realize the importance of the stand we all have to make when it comes to not accepting violence in our community? No violence in our homes. Even violence being viewed by our children. It's our responsibility to act, to use our voice, to expose darkness with courage and understanding. It is the understanding that each person has a responsibility to be a beacon of light, and it starts in our hearts, just simply by speaking words of kindness, being respectful, and having compassion. Teaching others to value emotional intelligence as much as they value money, or that new car, or the new house, or that fly outfit, or that Louis Vuitton purse and shoes. Come on, you know. Or how about the snitches get stitches code? That's just a fear-based thinking that causes people to not speak up. Let's use our power, the power of our voice, the power of our pen. Speak out, speak up, speak loud during times of injustice. It saddens me that at the end of last year, there was a total of 12,942 people killed just in the U.S. from gun violence, with more than 50,000 incidents of gun violence, and a total of over 20 million forms of violent acts. This was just in 2005, reported through the U.S. Department of Justice. Now, if knowing that information doesn't make your heart hurt, or at least raise some type of emotion in you, I don't know what will. Just please, let's take responsibility. Take the victory over violence pledge with me. Here it is. Come on, affirm with me. This is our step together. Affirm. I will value my own life. I will respect all life. I will actively pursue dialogue. I will inspire hope in others. And so it is. We have the power. Let's continue to speak out and raise awareness. Randisha Love, your life was not in vain. It's time for victory over violence. It's Sharia Thomas here. Until next time, love and light, my friends.
Hey, y'all ready for the party to be over? Y'all ready to go home?
It's the Beat Break Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
The views and opinions expressed on the Beat Break do not necessarily reflect those of your job, your lifestyle, or your social life. If you don't like what you've heard on the Beat Break Radio, thank you for listening to Beat Break Radio.